Through all my work in building quizzes, I've found that the most efficient way to get all of those quiz questions into your quiz, your test, is by using a quiz import. Now, I do have a template file that I use when I'm sharing this quiz template with folks, or when I'm working on a team and need to distribute it, and we've got a lot of people working on it so that everything can be done the same. But the important part to look at is right up here. This is the format that Articulate Storyline is going to look for when you're importing quiz questions from a text file. It's going to import a plain text file. So it wants to see like .txt. You might be able to make like a .doc work, but .txt is going to be your best bet. Here I have these commented out because it's part of the instruction set. But what Storyline is going to look for is the question type, how many points that question is worth, the actual question itself, and then the answer and distractors. Now, again, this is all commented out because it's directions. Here, we're only going to be working with one question type, and that is multiple choice. We can get into the different question types later, but this is the one that is the most effective and imports the easiest. I'll go ahead and eliminate all of these notes, but where I have that double / it knows that it's commented out, so it's a comment, so it won't see it. But for our purposes, I'm going to get rid of it to clear up the screen. Now, that first entry is the question type. That's multiple choice. I generally go with 1 point per question, but it's whatever you're trying to accomplish. Then the question itself. The important thing to know is Articulate Storyline is going to recognize the next line, which is this one right here, as the first question or distractor of your quiz question. So if you're trying to use something with 2 lines and you want to go enter and add a second line, that's not going to work because it's going to read this here as your first distractor. So you are limited to just using that first block, and once it sees a return, it's going to read that as the first question or the first distractor. Now, the correct answer is going to be signified by this asterisk at the beginning. Wherever that asterisk is listed, that is going to be read as the correct question. As we move through the line for this answer, you'll see the pipe right here. Whatever comes after that pipe is going to be the feedback for that question. So I've answered my question right. Here's my feedback. Hey, that's correct. The next 3 are my distractors. And you can see each one here is separated by a pipe and the desired feedback for that distractor. Here it's different feedback for each distractor. Using this import method, you do have to have feedback for each distractor. It can be the exact same, but it does have to be listed as you see here on each one. But if you're trying to reuse it, it's a simple copy and paste. Speaking of copy and paste, just so we have a few questions to work here, I'm going to do just that with the one question we have on our screen. I'm going to paste that question in there a few times. I'm going to save my document and then move on over into Storyline. Now, this is a little bit hidden in the menus. You do have to know where it's at to find it, but it is under File, and we're going to look for Import Questions from File. We're using that quiz building template that I have information for in another video, and I'll have that linked up here in the corner if you'd like to see that. The only file I have in here is my question template, so I'll double click on that, and it's going to import everything into this separate dialog box. You've got some choices to make. I always just import it into the same scene because I am a big fan of always using question banks, and we do need to move that over. So I'm going to select import and wait for it to do its thing. Again, you can import it into whatever scene you want. Some people like doing individualized questions, especially when you're doing custom questions or questions that have things like a lot of drag and drop, or they're very, very customized to your use. When we're importing, we are a little bit more limited, but this is going to be for a much bigger question set anyways, typically that is. Articulate will open up your questions in whatever scene you told it to. Now I need to add them to my question bank. And again, this is my process. So I'm going to go up here to question bank, open the existing one that I have. I'm going to come in here and say import questions already in this project. And that's where it's going to show me all the available slides. And I'm going to select the questions with the slides that I just imported. Select OK, and again, it's going to do its thing. It may take a couple minutes, more questions, more time. And when that's done, you can see you'll see in my question bank, I have an individual entry for each one of those questions. If we drill down into a question slide, you can verify in the slide layers the different feedback for each one of those responses, be it a distractor or the correct answer. So that's another technique that I use when I'm building quizzes to make things go as efficiently and smoothly as possible. Again, I do have another video. The link is up here and you can find a link down below. Please reach out to me at my website if you have questions about quiz building. And as always, you can like and subscribe this page and subscribe to the channel if you want more information regarding storyline, training, instructional design in general. Thanks for hanging out.